Okay. Let me get. Go ahead. Ask your question again. I want to.
So describe to us.
Hold on. Let me. I got to answer his question.
What a real or fake atheist.
Okay. There's the sign. Get a shot of the sign. You can get it. You can. We got it earlier. Real or fake atheist. All right.
You got it a couple times.
All right. Just like I said, our harshest rebukes of all the places we go to preach, our harshest rebukes and words are not for atheists, not for drunks or anything. Our harshest rebukes are for phony Christians. People who claim to be a Christian, but they're still living in sin, they're lying, they're stealing, they're drunk, they're out having sex outside of marriage, looking at porn.
But God allowed
hold on. That's our harshest rebuke.
He made sin.
Hold on, let's talk about atheists. That's our harshest rebuke, because we say if you claim to be a Christian, you better be living holy. The Bible says that God knows those who are His. Let all those who name the name of Christ depart from iniquity. So we call out phony Christians that they better be real Christians and not a bunch of fakes. Most of the Christians, I don't know everybody in America, so I'm saying, I just did. Somebody who claims to be a Christian, they said they're Little Sinners Prayer and Bible Camp, but nothing changed. They're still living. What they want to do is they want to sin, but they don't want to have to pay a penalty for it. So they, hold on, let me just keep going. But they still want to have their sin. That's who our harshest rebuke. So in the same manner, I come out and give the same message to atheists. And I like talking to atheists because we don't worry about getting our stuff stolen or broken and beat on like so many other groups we talk to. But what I want from an atheist is I want them to be consistent. What I've found is that the vast majority of atheists that I talk to are not consistent in their belief. What I'm saying is if atheism is true, we're not bringing God into the equation. I'm not here to try and prove God exists. I'm here to say that if you're going to be an atheist, I want you to be one from start to finish with all the good and with all the bad that comes along with it. Just like I'm a Christian and there's a lot of good that comes with it, but there's also a lot of really hard stuff. Like Jesus said, I can't even look with lust or I'm guilty of adultery. Very hard. I wish he didn't say that because it makes my life a lot harder. But I want you atheists to understand your beginning point is hydrogen and helium shoots out into frictionless space plus time and chance give us what we have here today. Now here you are, and your end point will be you will die, just like maybe him or somebody else said, I think it was him, you die, you fade to black, you have no memory, and you, just a second, and she'll be first, then we'll go back to you. And you'll fade to black, you'll have no appreciation for the good that you did or fun things, you'll have no regret for the things you could have done more, you'll just be gone and that's it. And some people say, well, my children, I want to make a better life for my children. All they are is just the next generation of people who are going to go off to black and it's oblivion and it means nothing. And even in the end, no matter all the scientific advancements and things we have, the sun's going to go supernova, the earth gets burned up, and all of this will have been for absolutely nothing. So I want you to accept that and I want you to believe in it. And I don't want you to hop into the taxi cab of a Christian or theistic worldview when it comes to things like morality, right and wrong, good or bad. Again, you could have preference. There could be things that make more endorphins go off into your brain and that sends more of an electrochemical sensation that you like, but it's nothing more than that, just an electrochemical sensation going on in your brain. Then love is an illusion. Love is phony. It's just a chemical reaction like solid sodium mixing with water and creating a chemical reaction. So I believe that if an atheist, they don't have to hear a single word about God or from the Bible, but if you will actually believe atheism from start to finish, eventually you're going to come to a point where there'll be a day where you'll be sitting and there'll be a table, you'll sit in front of a table like Ernest Hemingway did, and there'll be a gun on one side, and I'm not saying I know what happened when he died and he killed himself, but one day you'll probably have a Bible on one side and a gun on the other, and I want you to pick the right one. Because even if you killed yourself as an atheist,
just walk away.
Well, I want you to receive atheism for all the good and all the bad, even though atheism can't have good and bad, but all the good and all the bad that comes along with it. And I believe you will either get into such depression that your life is absolutely meaningless because you're on a point from nothingness to nothingness. Yeah. And you'll realize that for you to try and give meaning to that little line that's between 2 points of nothingness is like a pauper with scrap paper and a crayon and drawing $1 million bills and saying, I'm rich.
My meaning of life is, I got a little sister here. If anyone messes with her, then my purpose is to protect her.
For what? To what end?
To what end? The fact that she's not going to get hurt or her life short.
Short. What difference would it make if her life was shortened? If atheism is true?
She wouldn't be here.
Hold on, wait. I'm answering him, then her, and then. Hold on, no. I'm still answering yours.
You're applying a fake definition.
You're jumping. Jake's still there. It's him, then her.
Exist.
So what I'm saying is that you?
All right, then here.
All right, no, she's next. She's next. Have I answered your question?
If you're gonna let me go real quick.
All right, all right, go ahead.
When you say atheist from start to finish, do you believe that some Christians can go for non-believers, like non-believers who full out Christian believe with all their soul and everything, and they go to heaven?
What I'm saying, Jesus demands all or nothing, and like I said, I'm not here to try and convert you.
If you're not a Christian and then you become a Christian, you believe where you're going, then you're not full because you weren't from start to finish.
Oh no! I'm not saying from like birth to death.
Well, you said from your.
No, what I'm saying is that once you have come to a conclusion, whether it's Christianity is right, or atheism is right, or Hinduism is right, I want you to embrace it 100% with everything that comes along with it. Everything, all the good, all the bad, whatever it takes. Like I said, Christianity has a lot of really hard teachings that a lot of people who claim to be Christians don't want to accept. That pastor up there talking about how there is no hell. He claims that there's a heaven, but the same Jesus who talked about heaven talked more about hell than he ever did about heaven. So quit picking and choosing. And that's what I want from an atheist. That's all I call out atheists to do, is to be consistent from beginning to end. And I want you to accept, and he said his purpose is to protect his little sister, and so that nobody hurts her and she dies early. But what I'm saying is that if atheism is true, it wouldn't matter if I lived 100 years, and 100 years of my life was filled with all the hedonism and all the pleasures that the world could ever offer, and then I died and fade to black. It would be no different than if I lived 100 years and I stared at a blank wall and died of starvation and pain, and then I died and faded to black. It would make no difference whatsoever, because in the end, I fade to black, and whether you live to be 30 or whether you live to be 90 would make absolutely no difference. So his protecting you, that might give him some endorphins going off in his brain, and that makes him feel good or something. But whether he protects you or doesn't protect you is the same. I agree, and I demand Christians live out their Christianity.
Okay, so I want to return to your original argument about real or fake atheists, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you also talk about real or fake Christianity.
Right.
And I want to answer just with one sentence. What is the most important commandment that Jesus issued?
The two most commandments. The first one is love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength.
Above
and
all,
love
your neighbor.
That one's it. That's the first one.
Love your neighbor, right? Love your enemy.
Love your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength is first, and love your neighbor as yourself is the second. And all of the commandments are summed up in those two.
So telling us that we're going to go to hell if we don't fit under your specific, socially constructed ideas of Christianity, whether or not you're telling a Lutheran, a Baptist, or an atheist, or an absurdist, or a Buddhist, or a Hindu that they're going to hell because they disagree with you, you seem to be missing out on the most important commandment.
Regardless of whether...
So you're a fake Christian.
Okay, no, right? Regardless of whether you believe it's true or not, let's talk about hell. Regardless of whether or not you believe it's true,
let's talk about hell.
If I believe with 100% certainty that hell is real, it's a lake of fire, where there be weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth for all of eternity and no release from it.
Absolutely.
Would it be more loving for me to warn someone not to go there, or would it be more loving for me to keep my mouth shut and knowing you're walking off into a cliff, into a lake of fire? Which one, regardless of whether it's true or not, if I believed it, which would be more loving?
Why do you think that's your choice?
Hold on, let him answer. Okay. What would be more loving for me to do?
Which would be more loving for you if you truly believe
Yes. Would it be more?
There is a lake of fire.
Would it be more loving for me to warn someone not to go there with as much power and passion as I could, or would it be more loving for me to not say a word and let them live and let live, knowing that they were going to go off into eternity of punishment?
I think that the most loving thing you can possibly do is research before you make your actual conclusion.
Okay, what I'm saying is, the scenario. I didn't say we're discussing whether it's true or not. I'm saying if I believe with 100% passion and certainty that is true, regardless of whether it is or not. What I'm saying is it more loving for me to warn you not to go to that place, or to keep my mouth shut and think, well, that's not what he wants, and I don't want to offend him. Which is more loving?
Okay, so
if that's
I
what
am
I
going
believe.
to answer this question, so don't jump on me for
Shouldn't
not
be that hard of
immediately
an
answering
answer.
your question. It would, in fact, be more loving. You are correct. However, the problem is that it is not more loving, I do not think, to accept and ignore the obvious contradictions that you have to accept in order to tell people that they're going into a lake of fire. To tell people of other religions that are fake Christians. To tell people that aren't qualifying under your specific conditions, that are homosexual, that are women, if they speak up in church, which is actually in the Bible.
Now you're getting sidetracked. What I'm saying, but you're missing my whole point. You're missing my whole point. You're missing my whole point. Is that if I was judgmental,
Don't get in his face. He's a nice guy.
I
helped him clean off pie off his face that Mel shared.
Okay.
I heard.
What I'm saying is, if I was judgmental,
Some
and yet
idiot
completely
threw pie
wrong,
on
but both you and I are going to die and fade to black and go into oblivion, why is it wrong? What difference would it make?
He was.
What difference would it make if I just spent all day giving you ice cream or all day judging you?
I'm assuming you read the Bible.
Yeah, they
What
quit
I'm
it.
saying is, from an atheistic world, let's stick just on atheistic
No, I don't want you to.
standpoint.
It's relatively
That's why I'm here. I'm not here to convert anyone. I'm not here to try to win you to God. I want you to. I want you to
Hey,
explain to me.
can I?
No, I want you
Can
to.
I stop
hold
you?
on.
I gotta leave. I want to ask you. I want to invite you tomorrow. Saturday. We're doing ReasonCon Saturday, and hundreds of atheists and humanists and secular humanists will be at the Crown. You're welcome to come.
Yeah, I
We'd
know
love to have
Gene.
you.
Yeah, Gene actually invited me to come here. So, to do what? To just come stand in the crowd? Or something?
No, I don't care. I'm just saying if you would like to come, there's going to be a Christian, one of the world's foremost Christian authorities on Christianity. There will be a pastor there.
A real one? A real one, or one of these guys like tonight?
No, a real one.
This guy tonight's a fraud.
One that even
this guy's a bigger phony than most of the
one
atheists
even the
out here.
churches has called in. The guy is famous for. It's Richard Carrier. You can look him up. And then also Ryan Bell, who is a pastor.
Gene has my number.
Okay.
If Gene wants me to come,
Well,
or
Gene
whatever.
asked me to invite you.
Oh, okay. I might contact Gene. I don't have his. Let me I might have Gene contact me,
Okay.
and I might come.
I'm glad you came today. Thank you.
What's your name again?
My name's Cash.
Okay, I'm Buddy. Nice to meet you.
I met you at Bell Share, I believe.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think you got a pie thrown on you.
Yeah.
I cleaned your glasses
Yeah,
off.
Gene said he did too. Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember that well. Of all the things I've ever had thrown at me, the pie was one of the best. So, all right. So what? Hold on, let me finish him, and I'll give it to you, Jason.